This is Game Set Match Kentucky, episode 56, recorded on Wednesday, June 10th, 2026, entitled Your Big Trophy. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another episode and another season of Game Set Match Kentucky, where we talk about all things related to tennis in Kentucky, especially the Central Kentucky Tennis Series. I'm Chris Godby, the chairman of the CKTS, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf. I'm in Russell Springs, Kentucky on a warm and sunny day, almost too warm. Chad Young is in Studio D. Is that what we're calling your office?
I think so. I mean,
We may have lost track.
We were going to do Studio B yesterday, and that didn't work. So we're back here in Studio D, and it's worked wonderfully.
This is our fourth attempt to record this. Only the second attempt of actually getting in front of the cameras and doing it. The other two failed attempts were failed scheduling attempts, I think, right?
That's correct. It has not been smooth sailing, but nothing's been real smooth over the last 2.5 months, I would say.
You've had a lot going on, a lot of positive stuff, and we're going to talk about high school tennis and your big trophy in just a few minutes. But let me give you a chance to tell everybody how you're doing, and tell us how your 40 and over team did this past weekend, because I actually have not heard.
Not as good as the high school team did, and there's probably some correlation. I felt I was the most unprepared for a state tournament as I've ever been.
Really?
But I'm just a small piece of the puzzle. We missed making the semifinals by one court. We lost an awful lot of third set tiebreakers on Friday and Saturday, and so we didn't make it to the semifinals. We went 2-2 and lost the tiebreaker, and so no state championship.
No
Didn't even
trip
make
to
it.
Mobile?
No, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty good with not having to travel to sectionals. I'm good. I'm good. I've been traveling enough the last 2 months.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And we're gonna hear about that in just a few minutes. So it's been 5 or 6 months since we were last here with the viewers, and we have missed doing this. I've missed doing it. I got excited when I was getting all this stuff set up and getting ready to go on here. And normally we have an episode in the winter. Usually it's audio only, where we do interviews from Kentucky Tennis Weekend at the end of January, beginning of February. But on that Saturday morning, which was in early February this year, we interviewed 4 or 5 people. The new president of USTA Kentucky. We had a representative there from the Southern section. We had somebody that was from Nationals, right? Or used to work with Nationals. Anyway, long story short, we did these interviews, and then the audio was bad. And for a long time, I thought, well, we can't use it. But now I'm thinking there is a way, which will take me many hours, that I think we might be able to use it. But that won't be today. I'll look into that and see if I can salvage that audio. I did think of something that might work. But apologies to the folks that we interviewed who wondered, whatever happened to that thing I did at the thing, with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we may be able to share some of that.
They must have thought I was terrible. They must have thought I was awful.
That could be what they're thinking. But no, that's not the case at all. It was some really good conversation that we hope to be able to share with you sometime soon. But today on this episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, we're going to look at results from the Miller Park Tennis Classic. That's our first CKTS tournament of 2026. And we have CKTS updates and changes for 2026 that are going to affect some of our players. They've already affected some of our players. We're going to congratulate the 55 and over champions, and all this, plus tennis news and announcements, and a whole lot more that you never asked for, including an announcement that just came in to me about 10 minutes ago before this taping. I'm going to try to get it in on the fly. But first, some big congratulations are in order for my co-host, Chad Young, and his high school team, the South Warren High School Lady Spartans, for their KHSAA state runner-up finish in the high school team state tournament last week. After winning the 4th region title in late May, they didn't drop a match on their way to a championship round face-off with Sacred Heart Academy, who'd won 7 of the last 9 seasons, I think. Chad's girls fought hard, but ultimately the Valkyries won out. This was just about 2 weeks ago, right? Two weeks tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah, 2 weeks Friday.
Okay, so I just wanted to, I wanted to be there, and I could not make it. Had to work, but I wanted you to tell us about the experience and anything else you want to say about your season, because you certainly deserve some time to talk about your success this year.
Well, it was an amazing season. It was a long and difficult season for a number of reasons. Probably a lot of it just because of the pressure to maximize the opportunity. I knew we had a really good team this year. I knew that we had a chance to, win the region title, and we're in a competitive region now, and it's been competitive for many years. And if you can win our region, you've got a chance at the state tournament. That has proven itself to be the case. 2 years ago we won region, made it to the semifinals. Last year, Greenwood won the region, beating us in the final, and they made it to the state semifinals. And we got a pretty fortunate draw, although I think we were one of the top 4 teams in the state this year. And so, we had a path. I thought we could get to the state title, and that's what we did. Sacred Heart, I knew would be pretty tough. And so just wanted to get there. I thought that was going to be a really nice way to finish the season. And that kind of doesn't even mention some of the individual tournament success we had. I mean, we won the girls singles title for the first time in school history. We won the girls doubles title for the 8th time in history, but this year was unique. We had both our doubles teams make it to the final. And then we had a boys player, Haris Shabazz, who won the region singles title. Our boys were region runner-up. And then Haris made it all the way to the state semifinals. So it was just a really good year. Really proud of our kids and the way that they performed and prepared, and did all the things needed to have the success that we did, because it was a real challenge. I mean, we had to make sure everybody was on the same page, and they had to work hard to make sure that we would have the opportunities we did, and they did so. So it was a great year. It probably met, if not exceeded, what my expectations were. So I was really, really pleased, and I appreciate the kind words. The kids deserve it. They work real hard. It's been a grind for the last 3-4 months, and it was a fun ride for sure.
Well, you certainly deserve the recognition, and your team is outstanding. Now, I should add that road to your regional title, and thus your road to the state championship, or the state championship match, went through the Russell County Lady Laker tennis team.
That's right. Started the season against. Well, I guess we started the season against Bowling Green, and then played you all. But yeah, our first postseason match was against the Lady Lakers. And you guys had a great season. I've been kind of looking forward to our first podcast, this year, because I know you had your hands full. It was quite an experience for you dipping your toe back in the coaching pool.
That's that's a good way to describe it, I guess. After 20 years of not coaching high school tennis. First of all, I couldn't believe I got back into it, but then I had a blast. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
And we improved along the way, as all teams will do during the season. Everybody just gets better. As the more they play, the better they get. Nobody gets worse, I don't think. But we didn't get in 1 year where I wanted to be, of course. But we had some highlights. We had some great moments, including that Saturday morning before we played your team in the region team tournament. My girls got a very significant victory in the previous round, and I was really proud of that. And it was I consider that sort of the ending of the season, because the match against the South Warren Lady Spartans didn't last very long. You got a really talented group, but no, seriously, I had a good year, and my players are at camp this week, so they are trying to get a head start on next season, and I'm looking forward to it. I survived it and enjoyed it. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, it's been hard for us to do podcasts during the season when one of us is coaching. It's
Right.
really, really tough when both of us are coaching.
For sure. That's definitely true. Yeah.
But just one last thing. I thought last night, it's been, as you said, about 2 weeks, and even though I'm getting ready for the tournament this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
there's just some perspective, and it's just amazing. I mean, you talk about not getting where you wanted to be after 1 year. I
Yeah.
mean, this is my 16th year, and
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I'm amazed at how successful the program has been. The last couple of years, and this year was clearly, the high watermark. But it's really neat to know where we started and where we are, and now it's just a matter of trying to continue that success. We're going to lose some good players, and but I'm excited about what our program's been able to accomplish, and where we could be going forward.
And you're exactly right about Region 4 being incredibly tough. If you can win Region 4, you're going somewhere in the state tournament. That's for sure. So anyway, but as one tennis experience ends for now, another one takes off running. We just finished the first of 9 CKTS tournaments happening this summer around Central and South Central Kentucky. We'll take a look at those results right after this word from our sponsor, Vision Cabinet Source in Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Are you thinking about a home renovation or new build? Start with the cabinets, because great spaces begin with great design. And there's no better place to start than Vision Cabinet Source in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Vision Cabinet Source delivers premium cabinetry backed by a 17-step finishing process, ensuring top-quality craftsmanship that looks beautiful and lasts for years. From kitchens to bathrooms to office spaces, their wide selection of styles and finishes means you'll find the perfect fit, whatever your vision. And it's not just for locals, they ship nationwide, so no matter where you are in the U.S., you can get high-quality cabinets delivered right to your door. Whether you're a homeowner, builder, or contractor, Vision Cabinet Source makes it easy to get the look you want at a price that makes sense. Visit visioncabinet.com or call 270-465-3222 to get started. That's Vision Cabinet Source, where your vision becomes reality.
Speaking of Vision Cabinet Source, look who I ran into in Campbellsville at the Miller Park Tennis Classic. This is owner of Vision Cabinet Source, Jason Ford, there in the middle, next to me, standing to his left. And then that's his doubles partner in the men's 40 and over. His name is Mark Taylor. Mark is a fan of the show. Hi, Mark.
Yeah.
And it was great to see him. He came up from Florida to play that tournament. He's a native Kentuckian, but he now lives in Florida, and he makes it back to play some events every now and then. So it was great to see him, and hope to see both of them continuing to play every now and then on the CKTS tour.
Yeah, good deal. I'm glad to see Jason's still out there on the courts.
He's making a comeback. He's mounting a comeback after a little bit of time off, I think. So.
Okay.
So saw them at the Miller Park Tennis Classic. That was in Campbellsville almost 2 weekends ago, May 30th and 31st. That was directed by Anna Brown. She is the coach of the Campbellsville University men's and women's tennis team. Now, I had to sit this one out. due to injury, but I was there pretty much the whole first day as a spectator. So we're going to take a look at who brought home the medals. Chad, I'll let you go first, starting
Okay.
with the juniors.
All right, so boys 12 singles up first, and it was a round robin, and Sanning Pierce went 2-0 to take the title, and Asen Gordon was the runner-up.
In boys 14 and under singles, it was Aaron Chang of Somerset defeating Jonah Bradstreet, 6-love, 6-love.
Boys 16 singles, Alexander Altman defeated Will Cameron, 6-3, 6-love.
In boys 18 and under singles, Dahl Beck defeated Nolan Parsons 7-6, 6-2.
Girls 14 singles has Alina Hollenberger defeating Kyra Nichols 6-2 and 6-2.
Yeah, we skipped right to the 14s because no girls 12 and under this time. In girls 16 and under singles, it was Evelyn Riley defeating Riley Morris 6-2, 6-1.
Girls 18 singles saw Piper Harris defeat Claire Riney 6-3 and 6-4.
In boys 18 and under doubles, we had Will Cameron and Alexander Altman defeating Ronan Vaughn and Devin Seymour 6-love, 6-love.
Girls 18 doubles saw Piper Harris and Kyra Nichols defeating Madison Gibson and Courtney Woodward 7-5 and 7-5. And I want to say real quickly how much I admire some of these kids. Piper Harris, she was on a Pulaski County team that made it to the state semifinals. You mentioned Nolan Parsons earlier. He had just played in the state tournament. They made it all the way to the quarterfinals, and for those kids to turn around and play the CKTS event that weekend
in a short time,
that takes a lot of commitment.
Yeah, just a few days turnaround. Yeah,
I mean, especially for Piper, she would have played Friday morning and then played in Campbellsville on Saturday.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'd be remiss not to, congratulate also the Pulaski County girls tennis team for making it to the Final Four, where they fell to Sacred Heart that you ultimately played then. But yeah, that was an outstanding finish for Chris Atkinson and his team, and a very talented team.
If I'm not mistaken, that's their only loss on the year.
It could be. I don't actually know that for sure.
I know that's
possible.
I know that's what UTR says. We went 25-4, but we lost to Sacred Heart twice. We lost to Manual, and we lost to a team from Florida. But I think I saw that they only lost once all year, and that was in the state semifinals against Sacred Heart. I mean, they had a fantastic year.
They did.
So congratulations to Alfie and Chris.
Alfie on the staff. Yeah.
Yep.
Chuck Sobiek.
It's right. It's a pretty awesome job there.
Okay, so we are up to, I believe, mixed 18 and under doubles. Okay. So in mixed 18, we had Evelyn Riley and Coleman Greathouse winning in split sets over Riley Morris and Evan Bell. That was 7-5, 2-6, and 10-8 in the Super.
In men's open singles, it was a quote-unquote rematch of the boys' 18s. Dahl Beck defeated Nolan Parsons in a walkover due to injury.
In the men's C singles, Gregory Bernard defeated Reese Dowdell 6-2, 6-love.
In men's B singles, Joshua Morris defeated Mason Young 6-1 and 6-2.
It looks like I got my pictures backwards. This what you're looking at now is men's C final, and this is the men's B final. I apologize. That's my fault. All right, so now we're up to men's 40 and over singles, where Chris Allen defeated Wade Stone 6-2, 6-3.
Women's open singles saw Aaron Riney defeated Carrie Warren 6-love and 6-love.
In women's B singles, we had a round robin. In first place, we had Heidi Van Meringen. I hope I'm saying that right. In second place, we have Dana Wistrick from Bowling Green.
In men's open doubles, we had a walkover. Brad Hales and Jackson Grover were the victors over Matt McGrail and Grant Hammonds, who withdrew due to an injury.
And we don't have a photo provided for that, but I got to see those guys and talk to them at the tournament. I should have taken their picture, but no. So let's move on then to men's C doubles. And here, if I'm showing the right picture, we have Logan Chandler and Drew Baker defeating Evan Godsey and Steve Godsey 6-2, 6-love.
In men's B doubles, and I actually think those are backwards again because this is Luke. I think in men's B doubles, we have Luke and Sam Nelson defeating Jake Nelson and Noah Bennett.
Okay, so that's who we have here on the screen, right?
Correct.
Okay, mm-hmm. I knew something didn't feel right about, even though I don't know them personally, I knew something didn't feel right about the picture that I was showing there. Now, I do feel right about this picture. I know these guys. So this is men's 40 and over doubles, and we have Jason Ford and Mark Taylor, who we saw a photo of a minute ago, defeating Bill Flickinger and Darren Polston. 3-6, 6-3, 10-6.
In women's open doubles, we have Heather Wise and Amber Brown defeating Trina Rickard and Michelle True 2-6, 6-1, and 10-7 in the super tiebreak.
Believe it or not, there was no women's B doubles this time. That's often a popular division. So we can go on then to mixed open doubles. I don't have a photo of this one. All four of them live here, so I should have just got them together and taken their picture one afternoon. But it's Nathan McQuarrie and Abby Helm, brother and sister, defeating Darren and Kaylee Polston, father and daughter, 6-2, 6-3.
And in mixed B doubles, we have Heidi Van Ameringen and Josh Morris defeating Richard and Sonia Kessler 6-4, 3-6, and 10-5 in the super.
All right, so that's a look at the results from the Miller Park Tennis Classic. We'll have updated point standings after the Sidney Cassidy Memorial Tournament when players become eligible. By CKTS rules, it takes 2 tournaments played in a division to be eligible to win that division. So usually the standings don't come out until after the second tournament. Sometimes they come out much later than after the second tournament. But I'm on top of this thing, man, and it's going to come out next week, by the middle of next week. Okay.
I like that. I like that guarantee.
No, well, that's relative to when this podcast comes out. So if it doesn't come out for another week, that buys me another week. So anyway, we do have some changes for the CKTS this season. Other than adding a 9th tournament, we have a tie-breaking procedure now for when we have a tie at the end of the season. 2 players, maybe 3 sometimes, have an equal number of points. So the steps we have in place for breaking that tie for this season are number of tournaments played is the number 1 component of that tiebreaker because we want to encourage participation. So we're rewarding that by number of tournaments played. If they have the same number of tournaments played in the division, then the next component of the tiebreaker is number of head-to-head wins against each other, the people that are tied. And then finally, if that is even, then we have the number of titles that they won in the division that season. So what do you think? What do you think about these tiebreakers that we've put in, Chad?
Well, I think we wanted to obviously reward the players who've been playing more tournaments, and there are a lot of different ways to accumulate points. You play a lot of tournaments, you win a couple, and the points race matters to some people more than others. And for the folks that are just trying to play tournaments to get some points, we want to reward that because we want people playing as many of our events as possible. But we also want to reward the people who are being successful. We want our points champion to reflect, who was the best player or best team for the duration of the season.
That's absolutely true. And I don't know. Me personally, I don't like to tie. I want to go for the win. So that's why I have a hard time with soccer. But
Yeah,
except in these when it gets down to the end of the World Cup, there's no ties. Are you a World Cup fan, by the way? Are you into
I
that at
am,
all? Okay.
very much so.
Good. Who's your team?
Um, the, I'm American. I'm a patriotic American, so that's an easy answer. I'm for the United States of America.
Well,
I
we're
mean,
all for the United States of America. I'm talking about teams that can actually win.
what are you talking about? No, I don't root for anybody else.
When is the
And
last time the
honestly,
USA won a World Cup in soccer?
I don't. Has it ever happened? I don't think
I
so.
don't
But
know if it has ever happened. I don't know.
if it did happen, it happened in the 30s. But I'm not just trying to root for somebody to win. I mean, I have a reason to root, and if we make the round of 16, make the quarterfinals, just like in 2002, I'll be thrilled. I don't get into club soccer, you
Hmm.
know, MLS or even Premier League or Premier League. Um, but national team, I follow both the men's and women's national team pretty closely.
Well, I know everybody came here to hear our educated hot takes on
Yeah.
soccer. So, but we'll follow up on it as the World Cup progresses because every
If
4
I
years
if
I
I had
become a fan.
if I had to root for somebody other than the U.S., um, it's probably going to be our cousins, the British. You know,
Okay, okay. I have a team. I have
but
some
they have a
gear for the
but they
team.
have a they have a tortured soccer existence. So you're bringing on some misery to yourself when you root for the English.
Well, enough about soccer. Here's the next thing that CKTS has implemented for 2026 is we are experimenting with a men's 55 and over doubles division. And by experimenting, I mean we're trying it for 3 of the larger tournaments. So our third tournament, which is the E-Town Open, our 6th tournament, which is Points for Puppets in Bowling Green, and our 9th and final tournament of the season in Lexington. We're going to have, for those 3 divisions, we're going to have men's 55 and over doubles. We're going to try it and see what the numbers are like. It is 4 points, so I mean, it's only three times it's happening, but you can still win that division. Play it at least twice, and you can still win it. So those are when we're going to have it. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I hope it makes. I mean, we certainly in both of our communities and throughout the state, we know a lot of guys in that age group that play a lot. These are people that were playing tennis in its heyday,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I hope they'll play because and this is because people have asked for it. I hope people respond and show that it's not just one or two people who want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, because it's kind of concerning because our 40 and over doubles has not really been a real popular event lately. So I hope the 55 works. And if it works, then we'll probably add it to next year for the full slate of tournaments.
We'll see how it goes. If it brings out more players and becomes a thing, then we'll we'll keep doing it. So here's another change that we have for 2026 is our age cutoffs have moved slightly because we're going deeper into the calendar year now. So instead of our birth date cutoff for the junior divisions being October 1st, it's going to now be November 1st because technically we are having a tournament at the beginning of October, which could be delayed by rain a week, and get on a little deeper into October. So we move that to November 1st because of the later tournament. And, there's never going to be a birthday cutoff that's going to please everybody. It's always going to squeeze somebody out somewhere. We used to have it at the end of the year, December 31st or, January 1 of the next year, actually. And it was kind of messing over the kids that had late birthdays in December and everything. But it's always going to mess somebody up, and that's just the way it goes, I guess. So
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be an age cutoff whenever we have age divisions. So we're just trying to be as fair as possible with that.
yeah, it has to be somewhere. So anyway, Game Set Match Kentucky is proud to partner with the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. For only $11 a month, you can do your part to help provide homes for veterans and first responders in need.
My parents have both passed. My dad was a veteran. He loved the military. So I wanted to give his car to the military so that veterans could get some money. My first though was Tunnel to Towers. They set you up with a time, a date. They pick it up. All you need is your title and keys. They sell it. They get back to you with the receipt. You use it for your taxes at the end of the year, and you're good.
Join us in supporting our nation's heroes. Go to T2T.org to make a positive impact.
The Adult 55 and Over Championships were held a couple of weekends ago in Owensboro, Kentucky, and often we will name off the winning teams and go through the photos. But USTA Kentucky has saved us some effort, and they made a nice little video montage of the winners. So let's take a look at that. So the music just ends abruptly there, but they did save me some work by doing that, so that's great. And right before we got on to record this, I noticed they just put out the video for the 40 and over, and I tried to get it and put it in here for today, and every time I did it, it didn't have the music with it. So I'll have to work on that or get them to send it to me. But that was just a few days ago, so that just came out, and we'll talk about that next time, or at least show their video. To keep up on everything that's happening with USTA Kentucky, you can visit them at USTAKY.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram, where you'll see cool little videos like that they make to share the success of what's going on around tennis in Kentucky. So speaking of,
Yeah, I don't know how Owensboro. I don't know how the 55s went. I'm not sure if they dealt with any weather, but we had a good experience at state this year. It was in Louisville. I guess we were fortunate where we stayed and where we played that the traffic was not a huge inconvenience, but that might not have been the case for everybody. Because that I-65 shutdown does make you go different places in Louisville. Yeah. So,
how long is that supposed to last, by the way?
June and July, I believe.
Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that being mentioned, but I haven't had to travel and encounter that myself. But, yeah, that's...
I hadn't played at Chickasaw Park in a long time, and we played at Chickasaw on Friday. Great courts, and played over at Sanpedon in New Albany, and played in Jeffersonville at one of the nicest high school facilities probably in the country. So, yeah, we had a good tournament. It's unfortunate we weren't able to advanced to Sunday, but yeah, we had fun. Bowling Green has had two teams win. We had a 3-0 women's team you saw there that won the 55s, and then we had a 3-5 men's team that was kind of a combination of some Murray guys, some guys that played in the CKTS event in Campbellsville that joined up with the Bowling Green guys and had some success. So congratulations to all the teams that were victorious.
Definitely. And speaking of tennis and Bowling Green, look what's coming up this weekend in just a couple of days. It's the Sidney Cassidy Memorial Tournament, the third annual. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So the entries passed yesterday after they were open for a 9-day period. So that's coming up Saturday morning, bright and early. What can you tell us about what to expect this weekend?
Hopefully some sunny skies. Our numbers are a little bit down. It looks like the heat's going to be back again this year, so should be
great.
a great tournament though.
But yeah, it'll probably be outside, we're thinking, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Last year was all indoors.
It was 100% indoors last year, wasn't it?
Correct. Yeah. And we had to alter the format in order to get it done, get it completed. But right now, I think they're calling for, let's see, just sunny with a high near 87 on Saturday and a chance of showers on Sunday. So we'll just we'll deal with it as best we can. We'll probably try to get as much played on Saturday as we can.
Yeah, he's punched up the weather on the fly there for us. Just another service he provides. Look at that. So. And it's not too early to be thinking about our next tournament, which will be 3 weeks later on July 4th and 5th in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. It's the long-running State Farm E-Town Open. Those entries are going to open on Monday, June 22nd, with a deadline of June 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can visit CKTStour.com to register and to see our complete tournament schedule. You can also follow the CKTS on Facebook, Instagram, and X at CKTS Tour. Our tournaments are USTA sanctioned for juniors and adults at level 6, and our results are picked up by UTR. Our friends at the Southern Kentucky Tennis Association have a full lineup of activities this summer, and here's your favorite SoKy board member, Chad Young, to tell us what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, first off, we have a opportunity for coaching. You know, we've partnered with USTA to offer some opportunities for people to get some certification. There's a big need across the state and in our community, people to give lessons and to help people, you know, beginners, intermediate, advanced players, and but there can be some financial hurdles involved with certification, and so we're trying to kind of piggyback with what the USDA has done nationally with their coaching certification to try to make sure we have qualified and competent and you know, safe play approved instructors that are out teaching the game of tennis. So that's that. There's no real deadline for that. There'll just be some opportunities for coaching certification. So you just need to express an interest, and we'll follow up on that.
I've seen a lot of push for this from USTA Kentucky. So they're making it a big deal.
Yeah. And then we have a very popular event returning in just a couple weeks for the beginning of the Wimbledon tournament. You see, there's already grass tournaments being played, and so we have the Wimbledon event. We call it the Championships at Covington Woods. We basically partner with Bowling Green City Parks and Recreation to create a grass court for the 2 weeks of Wimbledon, maybe and maybe a little bit more. But we have an event to kick it off that's going to be on June 27th. That's a Saturday. We've got a kids clinic 9 to 10, an adult kind of a fast feed from 10 to 11, and then we'll do a blind draw tournament. It'll be modified format. It won't take more than probably 2 hours to complete. We'll have some refreshments. We'll have some strawberries and cream. We encourage people to wear their Wimbledon whites. We do ask you register at SoKyTennis.net. It's a free event. We just want to know how many people to expect. So this has been a really fun event. This was an event that was recognized by USTA Kentucky, I think, as a special event of the year. It came up as an idea of, we've got an area here at one of our parks. Can we make a grass court there? And it's just kind of blossomed. So I'm really excited about that event coming up.
And we've talked about it the last couple of years on this program, and we've looked at some pictures and things like that. What's the bounce like on that surface?
Well, grass in general doesn't bounce as high. It skids more. It's kind of like if you would go to like a putting green or a fairway on a golf course, because it's adjacent to a golf course. And it doesn't bounce as high. And the worst thing, I don't mean to poo-poo it too much, because it's a fun thing to do. But the bounce is inconsistent. And so that's probably the biggest challenge is the ball doesn't bounce as high, and sometimes you hit a little bump here and it'll bounce somewhere in a direction you weren't expecting it to.
The same could be said for clay. I mean, you could, depending on what
Absolutely.
spot of the court you hit, you can get a funny bounce. So, all right, lots of stuff happening there, and you can learn more about Soki Tennis at SoKyTennis.net or visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/SoKyTennis. And if you would, here's another announcement. This was the late breaking announcement that came in just before we started taping. The Lake Cumberland Tennis Association is offering junior match play on Mondays at Pulaski County High School courts in Somerset. That's on 5 nights, June 15th and 22nd, and a little July 4th break there. Then they come back on July 13th, 20th, and 27th. That costs $40 for the season. And for more information, you can send a message to Lake Cumberland Tennis Association on Facebook, or you can call our friend Dwayne Harris at 606-875-7158. And if you would like for us to promote an event like that from your local tennis area, you can. We'll do it right here on an upcoming episode of this show, and you can email us that information or any graphics you have for it to info@gamesetmatchky.com. Chad, we don't have a challenge the call question today, unfortunately, but we love those, and we'd love to hear your questions. So if you would like to challenge the call, email us at challenge@gamesetmatchky.com. That's
Hey, I've got a good one for you. If we got time. This
sure.
came up at this came up at the state tournament. So I was talking with good friend Clay Boone, who was officiating the state high school tournament. And so, after you win a set 6-4, okay?
Yeah.
You don't you don't change, right?
No, you would not.
And so you have two options. At least that's the way I was taught. You have two options. You can either take your set break there, or you can play the next game, which is what I would say most recreational players do. You play the next game, you play the first game of the next set, and then you change, right?
Right.
If you play that next game and you go to switch, you do not get your 120-second.
So it'll cost you 30 seconds, right? It's an extra 30 seconds of a break that you would not get if you had stopped at 6-4 and taken a break.
That's the way I understand it, but they actually acted, I guess maybe we need to get an official opinion. They act like it's just, after the first game, you're not supposed to sit down of a set. You're not supposed to sit down. It's just supposed to be kind of, you can get some water and you go to the other side, but you're not supposed to sit down and have a rest period, which is when coaches can coach. They acted like if you did not stop after that set break, then that first game of the second set was just a kind of grab a drink and go to the other side. So it is actually smart to take the break after the set's over and actually sit down and then go back on the same side and play the first game.
And I've
That's
never
the way it
been
was
totally
explained to
clear
me.
on this. If, let's say it's the second set and you finish the first game, it's Love 1, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get a 90-second break at that point? Or must you
I don't
change
think
ends
so.
and you don't get 90 seconds until after the third game? I've been confused about that for a while.
I think basically what they're saying is you can get a drink on your way to the other side, but it is not a changeover. You do not sit down and get your 90 seconds. So if
Until
you
after
want
the
time,
third game.
correct. If you want time, you need to take it after the set.
Okay.
So we always, recreationally, we always play the first game of the next set, and then we just sit, you know.
Sure.
But apparently, if you're going by the rules, you should take that set break, and then after the first game of the second set, you can get a drink on your way by, but it's actually not a changeover.
Now, whose rule is this exactly? Is it KHSAA?
That's it. That was a USTA rule.
USTA rule. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, now we know. That's going to serve out another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, and I want to thank everybody who's watching or listening to even our hot takes about soccer. You can subscribe with any podcast app or on one of our video platforms. Our website, I can't even talk now, Chad. I'm so mad. Our website is GameSetMatchKY.com for all things about the show. You can follow this show on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X at GameSetMatchKY. The CKTS is also on the same social media platforms at CKTS Tour. Thanks again to our sponsor, Vision Cabinet Source. And if you would like to sponsor the program, the work we do here, and all the failures and tech problems that we have, just reach out to me at info at GameSetMatchKY.com for more details. And maybe we can get some better equipment that's not a patchwork job here that's giving us a hard time. With that, Chad, I guess I will see you in a few days because even though I'm going to play, or I'm not going to play, but I'm going to be there. But until then, Hawkeye says we are out. So until next time, provided that the viewers are going to come back after this disaster, I hope they will. I hope they'll give us another chance. And maybe in some good post-production editing here, Chad, I can make this look a little bit better than the disaster that it was. Oh, we lost your audio. So it says you have muted yourself on my screen. So he probably thinks he has said enough already. So until next time, I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game Set Match Kentucky.